So should she tell her siblings, excuse me, someone else going to have to read this because I got the allergies going on.
I got you.
Who wants this?
I got you.
Yeah, she's thinking about hiding the money that she got from their last living parent. Now, why would you even do that?
Good morning, Bert Show. I have a doozy. I'm a 40-something-year-old with 2 older siblings, and we recently just lost our last living parent. Yep, both mom and dad are both passed. So sorry for your loss. I received something in the mail that looks like a life insurance policy where I am the only one listed as a beneficiary, and neither one of my siblings have mentioned receiving a copy of this. I only get my mail once a week, and it looks like it came early last week. Was this their last attempt at showing me they really did love me? Because they had a very funny way of showing it by listing me as the only beneficiary. Was this something I should be sharing in conversation with my siblings? Am I supposed to split it 3 ways? Either way, it could potentially hurt them if I tell them or if I hide it. I need your help. Signed, Confused.
So this is generally an adult type situation that I try to stay away from.
Yeah, this ain't for me.
Because I'm not exactly sure how these work. When you are listed as the beneficiary, are they saying you get the cash and you're the one that's allowed to distribute it?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So she's got that responsibility. So they're not just saying this is all yours.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, in some cases, normally there's a conversation that happens, and that's what's lacking here. So before my dad died, he was awesome because he sat my brother and I down because we knew he was dying. He had written everything out on a sheet of paper, and it literally step by step, this is what you do when I die. This is what's going to happen. This is what we need to do before to settle my affairs. Like, he sold his car before he passed away. And he and I he took me to the bank so I could put my name on his account so it would be easier so I could, as being the oldest sibling, could split the money and give it to my brother accordingly. Like, we did all that stuff before he passed away. Now, granted, he was dying of cancer, so we were afforded that opportunity because we had some time to plan. Not as much as I would have liked, but some. So in this case, if she had been made the beneficiary, it would have been nice for the parent to have told her that, so she could have been, prepared. And I would just say, no matter where you fall on the sibling line, if you're the oldest, middle, youngest, just say, Mom and Dad, you have to choose one. They chose me, and I'm going to split the money between the 3 of us.
So if you've been in the same situation, 1-855-BERT. Let me take an off-road here for just 1 second, though. So when you're going on those meetings with your dad, knowing what the intent is here and what you're planning for, that must be heartbreaking with every meeting.
It was torture.
Yeah.
It was absolutely torture. Like, sitting in the bank, and he wasn't, because of his lung cancer, he was having obviously a lot of breathing problems. So he would take his, it's things you never forget. Like, walking into the bank, him and his walker, sitting there, and your tears are welling up in your eyes, but you're in a public space and you're at a place of business. And they knew what was going on and why we were doing what we were doing. And then it's very official. And then after that, we walk out, and he did all of that out of love just to make life as easy as possible for us after he was gone.
So is it possible that that's what this parent is also? I mean, it almost looks like a compliment, like they're giving it to, I don't know if it's a her or a him, to handle, because they've taken a look at the kids and they're like, this is the one that can handle all
the
this.
most responsible.
So maybe it's like a compliment. Or
they were like,
I didn't think so.
Or they were like, we don't want to deal with this in life. You deal with this. Because the hardest thing is dealing with this. And, like Kristen said, your dad did that just so it would be easier on you. And that's
the greatest gift. It was the greatest gift.
So selfless, amazing. It's amazing. And I think the parents were like, ooh, they're going to fight and we don't want to be here for it.
So she has to tell the siblings. I mean, the intent from the parents was to split it.
Maybe.
But they didn't give directions on exactly who gets what. So I think you have to assume that, I'm not sure how many siblings we got going on here, that everybody splits it equally, right?
Oh, they have two older siblings. I'm 40 with 2 older siblings. So there's 3 of them. So that means this is the youngest. So they did this to the youngest of the 3.
Here is Monica. Good morning, Monica. You're on the Bert Show.
Good morning. Good morning. Working in finance for 15 years, that's not necessarily the case of having to split. When you're a beneficiary on any types of accounts, they will specifically ask you to name, like, multiple. You have that option. If you have 3 kids, you put all 3. If you have 1, you put 1. If you want to put parents and siblings, you can. So she's in a tough spot because they did name her. That could have been done on purpose, to be quite honest. They could have known. Sounds like she might have had a rocky relationship, and that could have been their way of just apologizing at the end. So it's really challenging to try to figure that out. But, I mean, she could just very well split it and just call it truce and say, hey, I don't know what they meant.
That's tough because then you got to look at each and every family member, right? So, like, let's say one of the siblings has 4 kids and another one of the siblings never had children. So, in your mind, now you're judge and jury. Do you give the one sibling that has more family more cash, or do you split it in thirds?
It gets complicated, which is why the person who's doing this should handle this. No, so with what she's saying, it's her cash now. She was, I mean, what the parents wanted is neither here nor there because they are not here. So it's her money now, and she gets to decide. And depending on her relationship with her siblings, and personally, like, if you don't want that karma to come bite you in the butt, I would just split everything evenly.
Or you just tell them that you have the cash, and then they're going to treat you the best they ever have in your entire. It never gets any better than this. Hey, over the next year, I'm deciding who gets the cash and how it's distributed. Now start kissing my ass.
Make it like a Hunger Games. Make it a Squid Game.
The Bert Show.